In every corner of the modern world, people are searching for something they cannot quite name. An inner balance that feels real, a sense of peace that lasts longer than a moment, and a deeper connection to life that goes beyond daily stress. Meditation has become one of the most powerful tools for this search, not because it is fashionable or mystical, but because it allows the mind to slow down and finally hear what has always been hidden beneath the noise. When you close your eyes and breathe with intention, the surface layers of worry, fear, and tension begin to settle, and underneath them lies a quiet world of energy, clarity, and awareness. This is where the concept of chakras begins to make sense, not as a supernatural system outside of us, but as a symbolic map that describes different aspects of our inner life. Ancient traditions used the image of chakras to show how human energy flows through the body, influencing emotions, thoughts, and our sense of purpose. Today, science might use different language, talking about the nervous system, hormones, or brain states, but the underlying idea remains the same. There are parts of us that become blocked, overactive, or weakened depending on our life experiences, and meditation has the power to bring them back into balance. Meditation does not create magical abilities or give you new energy out of nowhere. Instead, it reveals the energy that has always been with you, hidden under stress, habits, and old emotional wounds. When people talk about opening or awakening chakras, they are describing a process of releasing tension, dissolving fear, and reconnecting with parts of themselves that were once ignored. A closed heart chakra, for example, is not a literal door that needs to be unlocked. It is the emotional tightness built from past hurts, disappointments, or fear of vulnerability. A blocked throat chakra is not a physical knot. It is the internal hesitation to speak one's truth. Through regular meditation, these psychological and energetic patterns begin to shift. The breath becomes a bridge that leads back to the body, and the body becomes a doorway to deeper awareness. This video explores how meditation, practiced with sincerity and patience, can awaken each chakra and lead to profound transformation. By understanding the nature of the chakras as reflections of stability, creativity, confidence, love, expression, intuition, and spiritual connection, we can see meditation not as a ritual but as a journey inward. The true power of meditation is not about escaping the world or reaching a mystical dimension. It is about awakening the full potential already waiting inside you. And once this journey begins, every moment, every breath becomes part of a process that reveals who you truly are beneath the layers of noise and confusion. This is the real meaning of opening the chakras, discovering the deepest version of yourself and learning to live from a place of clarity, harmony, and inner strength. To truly understand how meditation awakens the inner power within us, we first need to understand the symbolic map known as the chakra system. Though often portrayed in colorful diagrams, chakras are not physical objects you can find in the body. They are representations of the different layers of human experience. Ancient practitioners used the image of 7 energy centers to describe how our emotions, instincts, thoughts, and spiritual tendencies flow together. Each chakra reflects a theme in life, a psychological pattern, and a type of inner strength. When people say a chakra is blocked, it usually means that part of their life has become restricted, overshadowed, or unbalanced. In reality, nothing inside us is truly broken. The energy simply gets tangled by fear, stress, or past experiences. The chakra system helps us understand where this tension lies and how meditation can slowly untie it. The journey begins at the root chakra, the foundation of safety, stability, and survival. It reflects our basic sense of belonging in the world, whether we feel grounded or constantly unsettled. When the root chakra is balanced, we stand confidently in life, trusting ourselves and the path we are walking. Above it lies the sacral chakra, the center of emotion, creativity, and intuitive movement. This is where the flow of life becomes warm and expressive. It reflects how easily we allow ourselves to feel, enjoy, and connect. If this energy becomes blocked, joy can fade and emotional life becomes rigid or suppressed. Rising higher, we reach the solar plexus, the core of personal power and confidence. This is the inner fire that gives us the courage to make decisions, pursue goals, and believe in our own strength. When this chakra is weakened, doubt and hesitation take its place. At the heart of the system stands the heart chakra, the bridge between the lower instinctive energies and the higher spiritual ones. It represents compassion, love, forgiveness, and the ability to open ourselves to others. A blocked heart often comes from past pain, causing people to protect themselves so tightly that love cannot flow freely. Meditation helps soften these walls, allowing healing from within. Moving upward, we come to the throat chakra, the center of expression and truth. It holds the courage to speak honestly, the clarity to communicate clearly, and the strength to express one's inner world without fear. Many people carry silent truths they are afraid to share, and meditation gently dissolves this inner tension. The sixth chakra, often called the third eye, represents intuition, insight, and deeper understanding. It is the part of us that sees beyond appearances, recognizes patterns, and understands the true nature of our thoughts and emotions. When this chakra begins to open, confusion gives way to clarity, and we start to see ourselves and the world with greater honesty. Finally, at the top lies the crown chakra, the center of spiritual connection. It symbolizes our sense of meaning, purpose, and unity with something larger than ourselves. This does not necessarily refer to religion. It is about feeling aligned with life, understanding our place in the world, and sensing the deeper flow that guides our existence. When these 7 centers work together in harmony, we experience life with balance, clarity, and strength. And when they do not, we feel scattered, disconnected, or emotionally heavy. But the most important thing to remember is that chakras are not fixed or rigid. They shift and adapt with every thought, experience, and breath we take. Meditation becomes the tool that helps them return to balance, not by force but by gentle awareness. As we move deeper into the practice, each chakra becomes a doorway, and together they guide us toward a more awakened and grounded version of ourselves. When we begin a meditation practice, something subtle but powerful starts to happen inside us. At first, we may only notice the surface effects. The breath becomes slower, the mind becomes quieter, and the body begins to relax. But as we continue, the deeper layers of tension, those stored in our emotions, our memories, and even our unconscious habits, start to reveal themselves. This is where the awakening of the chakras truly begins. Meditation is not about forcing energy to rise or imagining dramatic spiritual events. It is about creating the right inner environment for natural balance to return. Just as a river flows freely when obstacles are removed, our inner energy flows naturally when the mind becomes clear and the heart becomes calm. Over time, the simple act of sitting quietly with awareness can dissolve the knots that have formed within us, and each chakra responds in its own way. The root chakra awakens as meditation grounds us back into the present moment. When we breathe deeply and sit with stillness, the scattered thoughts about the future and past lose their grip, and a sense of safety begins to settle. That feeling of being lost or unstable slowly fades as the mind reconnects with the body. The sacral chakra responds next, softening the emotional patterns that have been held tightly for years. When the mind is calmer, emotions no longer overwhelm us. We begin to understand them instead of resisting them. This creates a gentle awakening of creativity, sensitivity, and a renewed sense of flow. As meditation deepens, the solar plexus chakra gradually regains its strength. Doubt, insecurity, and self-criticism are often loud when the mind is busy, but when the mind becomes still, these inner voices lose their authority. A quiet confidence begins to rise, not the kind built on ego, but a stable sense of inner power that comes from knowing oneself deeply. The heart chakra opens naturally as the layers of emotional tension slowly dissolve. Meditation softens old wounds, helping forgiveness to feel less impossible and compassion to feel more natural. Many people notice that after consistent meditation, they begin to respond to life with more patience, gentleness, and understanding. The throat chakra awakens when meditation reconnects us with our truth. Instead of reacting impulsively or speaking from fear, we start to express ourselves with clarity and honesty. As the mind becomes more aware of its own thoughts, we gain the ability to articulate our feelings without suppressing or exaggerating them. Meanwhile, the third eye begins to open as meditation sharpens perception. We start seeing patterns in our behavior, recognizing unconscious habits, and understanding the deeper motivations behind our actions. This intuitive clarity is not mystical. It is the natural result of a mind that is no longer clouded by constant internal noise. Finally, the crown chakra awakens when meditation leads us into moments of profound stillness, where the boundaries between self and world become softer. This is not about escaping reality or having supernatural experiences. It is simply a state of deep presence where we feel connected with life in a meaningful and peaceful way. Thoughts slow down, and we begin to sense that there is something steady, calm, and luminous at the center of our being. This inner stillness is the foundation of higher awareness, and it helps us experience life with a wider perspective. In this way, meditation does not activate the chakras through force or ritual. Instead, it gently restores the natural flow of energy that has always been within us. When the mind quiets, the body relaxes, and awareness deepens, each chakra begins to open in its own time, revealing emotional balance, mental clarity, and a deeper sense of purpose. Through this process, meditation becomes more than a practice. It becomes a journey of returning to our true self. To make the awakening of the chakras a real and accessible experience, we need practices that bring awareness directly into the body and mind. Meditation for chakra balancing does not require complex rituals, expensive tools, or secret knowledge. It requires consistency, presence, and a gentle intention. The foundation of all chakra meditation begins with the breath. When you sit in a comfortable position, close your eyes, and breathe slowly, you give your nervous system permission to shift from tension into relaxation. This simple act of breathing with awareness becomes the gateway through which deeper changes unfold. As the breath settles, the mind follows, and the subtle sensations within the body start to surface. This is where you begin to feel the energy centers more clearly, not as glowing wheels or dramatic lights, but as areas of sensation, warmth, openness, or tightness. One effective technique is to use visualization, not as an escape from reality but as a way to guide attention to specific parts of the body. For example, focusing on the base of the spine while imagining a warm red glow helps you connect with the root chakra, creating a sense of stability and grounding. Moving upward, you can visualize an orange light in the lower abdomen for emotional flow, a yellow light in the solar plexus for inner strength, and a green or pink light in the heart for compassion. Visualization is powerful because the mind responds strongly to images and intentions. It helps unlock areas that have been closed due to fear or stress. But it works best when combined with calm, steady breathing and a relaxed awareness. Another simple yet transformative technique is body scanning. This involves slowly moving your attention from the bottom of the body to the top, noticing any tightness or numbness without trying to change it. Many emotional blocks show up as physical tension. When you observe these sensations without judgment, the body naturally begins to release them. This release is often the first step toward chakra awakening. Sound can also be used as a supportive tool. Soft chants or repeating a gentle mantra create vibrations that resonate through the chest and throat, helping these energy centers open more easily. People who struggle with speaking their truth or expressing their emotions often find sound meditation surprisingly healing. For beginners, the key to all these techniques is simplicity. A quiet space, a natural posture, and a few minutes of focused breathing are enough to begin the journey. Trying too hard or expecting instant results often creates more tension, so the goal is to relax into the process rather than force progress. With time, the body and mind become more responsive. You may notice shifts in mood, increased clarity, or a sense of lightness in areas where there was once tightness. These are signs that the chakras are beginning to balance themselves. Meditation works best when approached with patience, allowing the inner transformation to happen naturally, gently, and without pressure. Each session becomes a small step toward a deeper, more harmonious version of yourself. When meditation becomes a steady part of life, the awakening of the chakras turns from a simple practice into a profound transformation that touches every aspect of our being. The changes do not arrive all at once. They unfold slowly, like the way dawn gradually brightens the sky. Over weeks and months, you begin to notice that the emotional storms that once shook you now feel lighter and easier to navigate. The root chakra's grounding brings a sense of stability that stays with you even during difficult moments. You start to trust your path more deeply, walking through life with a quiet confidence instead of constant worry. The sacral chakra's awakening adds warmth to your emotional life, helping creativity flow more easily and allowing joy to return in simple, everyday moments. You begin to feel alive again, connected to yourself in ways that stress once made impossible. As the solar plexus becomes stronger through meditation, you find yourself making decisions with clarity rather than fear. The inner critic that once controlled your choices grows quieter, replaced by a gentle but firm sense of self-worth. This inner power does not make you egoistic. Instead, it makes you steady, centered, and resilient. The heart chakra expands this transformation even further. Old wounds that once felt sharp begin to soften, not because you forget them, but because you grow strong enough to face them with compassion. You forgive more easily, not because others deserved it, but because you deserve peace. You love without fear of losing yourself, and you understand that compassion is not weakness but a powerful form of wisdom. With time, the throat chakra brings a new clarity to your voice. You speak more honestly, express your needs with confidence, and communicate with others in a way that builds connection instead of conflict. The third eye sharpens your insight, helping you see beyond emotional reactions and temporary chaos. You recognize the patterns that shape your life, and with this awareness you gain the freedom to change them. Intuition becomes a natural guide, helping you make choices that align with your deeper truth. And as the crown chakra continues to open, you experience moments of profound peace, brief, but powerful glimpses of unity with life itself. These moments remind you that beneath all the noise of the mind, there is a quiet, steady presence within you that cannot be shaken. Over time, meditation becomes less of a practice and more of a way of living. You move with more awareness, breathe with more intention, and respond to life with more understanding. The chakras work together, like a harmonious system, each supporting the others to create balance and clarity. This inner harmony reflects outward, changing the way you experience relationships, work, challenges, and dreams. The true power of chakra meditation is not about supernatural abilities or dramatic awakenings. It is about remembering who you really are beneath fear, confusion, and limitation. It allows you to live with purpose, compassion, and inner freedom. And the most beautiful part is that this transformation does not require perfection, only consistency. Each breath becomes an opportunity to reconnect. Each moment of awareness strengthens your inner balance. Over time, you realize that awakening the chakras is not a mystical journey outside of yourself but a return to the truth within you. It is the path of becoming whole one breath at a time.